now. Hello, hello, hello. Hopefully this time it will be better. I tried to make this video before. It did not exactly work, but the hope is this time it does. And today this video is going to be about, well, society, structures. I think I should just start off with like a big, grand, sweeping hook to get you all interested and excited. So, the hook is, and I've definitely thought of this before, and I'm definitely not stalling for time. Yeah, the hook is basically, if you think about it, money isn't real, right? If I came up to you, handed you, by the way, this is Maximus, say hi to Maximus. If Maximus handed it to me, as he sometimes does, a stack of papers. A fair amount of stack of papers. I would say I first have to craft sticks because I want to make fences. I would say, Maximus, what the hell is wrong with you? Do you think I have to make more sticks? But if the paper was a specific kind of paper for the specific region that I'm in, that is, you know, what we call money, I would be like, oh my god, thank you so much. Why? Because we as a society have all agreed, and I think this should be enough fences for what I'm doing. We as a society have all agreed that money has value. And it's this idea of doing things because we all agreed to do them. That is kind of one of the main things that I want to talk about today. I'm going to organize my inventory and Maximus will not get in the way. Yeah, excuse my horrible inventory management, cramped house. But can you really blame me for wanting to live inside a renovated church with amethyst in it? Can you really blame me? Like, it's horrible, but it's full of vibes. Anyhow, as I was. Because, when you think of it, and I'll try to get a stack as I can of this. When you think of it, a lot of society is just designed this way. Thinking about one example that I like to use a lot is the idea of dressing all fancy when you go to parties. And don't get me wrong, I do love a good suit, and I love pretty dresses. Are you kidding me? But kind of like, yeah, 30 fences should be enough. And I do need a couple chests for what I want to do. Oh yeah, I'll have to do that. 2 chests. That should be fine for now. And I'm just going to find an empty field to put this in, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to talk to you about basically like so much of society is basically formed on the... Oh yeah, I didn't fully explain that example. My bad. Maybe the future version of me could edit out the part where I was just stalling for no reason. Because what I don't get about that is the idea of because you're going to a fancy party, you need to wear a fancy outfit. Like, I never got that when I was a kid. I kind of get it a little better now, but I get it better mostly because, like, it's not something, it's just something that we have all agreed to. Like, we've all agreed to that not wearing a fancy dress at a party is rude. Well, but also kind of like, did I? God, I brought the chest. Well, but also kind of like, there's nothing inherently kind or rude about what you're wearing as long as it's not, like, hate speech or anything like that. I realize that. Am I gonna need more fences? I don't know. Maybe this is gonna entertain them enough. Also, how do you craft lead? I'm gonna say in chat, how do you craft a lead? The comments are gonna probably slam me saying like, oh no, Wonderlight doesn't even know how to craft a lead. Are they even a real gamer? And my answer is no. Anyhow, let's see, do I see string anywhere? Of course it's string. Which means I have to kill spiders, yay! Wait. Oh, I have string here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So I need 2 more string. I need 2 more string. I have an idea of how I'm going to get that. I'm going to fight some spiders. But yeah, that's kind of the thing. And I'm not saying that these contracts... What are you doing? This is Darius. Darius loves to just steal people's shit. That's why I made that thing with chests, so Darius over here can be entertained. That's why I'm making the lead. Just behave for 5 minutes, please. I don't trust him. Anyhow. Now I'm just gonna find a cave or just venture until I find a spider to kill. Oh no, that's a cave. Anyhow, I don't think these kind of, let's call them rules, are inherently bad. Like, some of these are traffic safety, right? Some of these are genuinely needed for you to be safe and for you to respect others and live a good life and just live in general. But I think as magicians, or aspiring magicians, this is technology that we can use. How? Just to give an example that I gave in my previous take, and then the example that I gave here. Kind of... Maybe you can transport yourself to a reality, which is a lot easier than I made it sound, by the way, just now. Where you're not wearing a suit because it's the right thing to do, but you're wearing a suit because you are a secret agent on a mission, on like a stealth mission. That is about changing the Y, which is something that I will get to later. Oh, that's a zombie, okay. But... we should have gone on before. Do Pelagos drop string? One way to find out. I hope Pelagos drop string. I hope I don't die. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try to talk to you while fighting these guys. There we go. I got a bottle from you. Die, 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 die. Do you drop string? But yeah. Other than that, kind of like, because what I'm trying to say is because magic, like, okay, just like we all agree that magic is, that, what I'm saying, money is real, so it is real, we can also, you can just agree within yourself that magic is real to make it real. You don't have to have physical proof in your physical environment that it's real. You can just decide for yourself that it's real. Decide for yourself that you are a fairy, a dragon, an alien, a wizard, a whatever, and you are that. You just decide for yourself that you're making a spell and you are doing that. And it doesn't have to be physically real according to the laws of physics. It can be, I'll say, socially real. I like that. I just hit the jackpot on coal, and I got distracted. I was going to fight spiders to get a lead. But I just hit the jackpot on coal. Great excuse for me to talk to you, yeah. So, because when you think about it, very little in our society is capital R real. Right? There are things like the laws of physics that technically cannot be broken, but who's to say going in your imagination and just daydreaming isn't astral travel, isn't important? These are the same rules of society that decided that some pieces of paper arbitrarily have value. You know? So yeah, in terms of how can you practically do this, especially when you are in a situation where for one reason or another, you have to follow these standards that you do not like. The answer there is what I'm going to call, and what I alluded to earlier, changing the why. So, let's say, for example, you run a car wash business. Maybe you are really into car washes. Honestly, they are kind of cool, but let's say you find car washes boring as shit. But as a business owner, you have a lot of responsibilities. What you do is you say, okay, I decide for myself that that the reason why I'm doing this is not because it's my car wash, it's because I am royalty and this is my kingdom. Suddenly, you gain an understanding of, I'm getting so much coal, I don't even know what I'm going to smelt with this much coal. But yeah, you gain an understanding of why you have to do what you do. And why you kind of do what you have to do for the invisible paper. Do you drop string? Let's see if skeletons drop string or anything useful to me. How are you going to be useful? My tools may break. You don't. Okay. I'm just gonna leave that there because of the societal rule that's very important of not stealing. Even though that is a lot of good loot. I'm gonna follow that societal rule. But yeah. And this, creating the why, is inherently magical. And is something great and magical you can do, especially if the day around you isn't the most magical. isn't the most fictionalized, doesn't feel like an RPG or video game or whatever. Guess I'm getting every mob after me, except for spiders. You know what? I don't need more coal. I absolutely do not need more coal. Oh, copper. Iron, though. Iron is a useful ore. So, yeah. And even as a way to kind of finish this video off dramatically, I'm going to see what... The new map designs are cute. I'm going to see what I did, if I could do what I did last time, and finish this video dramatically while facing the sun. Because that's what I'm due for all of these, apparently. And by all, I mean... Oh, no. You know what? I'm going to use that as an opportunity. Sometimes, like what just happened, surprises happen. The world does not go as you expect. Things happen that are not magical. But that is the power of us magicians. We can... Oh, this is perfect. Please, no one sleep until today. We can make every single moment magical. Spiders! Let's go! And I'm going to get some string while I'm going to tell you this. We can make... I have heard... I would say this is fairly common magic advice, that you need to separate your mundanity from your magic. And while it may work for some, and if it works for you, genuinely good for you, for me, like... Give me string, give me string, give me string, give me string, give me string. Okay, I'm gonna get a stone sword, another stone sword. Keeping you in suspense. Bunks of stone swords. Someone slept. For me, like, that's kind of like, okay, you did enough outside the boundaries of the real world, time to go back. And to me, it's just like going inside after recess. You're like disappointed, sad, and you just feel like the fun has just begun. And I am here to tell you that you absolutely do not have to feel this way. You can make every single moment magical. If you want to. All you need is a why. Before I sign off this channel, none of these videos are sponsored, nor do I think they ever will be. However, I recommend you checking out my friend, who I am going to be linking in the description of this video, Better Living with Reverie. Natanya is genuinely a wonderful friend, a wonderful person to talk to, and Faye is slowly becoming my comfort video essayist. Seriously, check Faye's stuff out. I would say it is a bit of required viewing for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. I'm going to